Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog. So, I wasn't home last night when this trade broke, but I did want to talk about it today while I still have time to do it. I got a pretty busy weekend ahead of me, but the Jalen Brunson video I'm actually going to end up redoing. After watching that video, I was like, there was one thing in it that I didn't like, so I deleted it. I'll remake it later, but I want to talk about this Rudy Gobert to Minnesota TImberwolves trade because I don't know how much I love the fit, but it definitely makes Minnesota a better team. So, the trade is that the Timberwolves will receive Rudy Gobert, and the Jazz will receive Malik, Beasley, Patrick Beverley, Leandro, Bolmaro, Walker Kessler, Vanderbilt, and 4 first-round picks and a 2026 pick swap. So they're getting a 2023 first-round pick, a 2025 first-round pick, the 2026 pick swap, a 2027 first-round pick, and a 2029 first-round pick that is protected. Supposedly, the 2029 first-round pick is top 5 protected. So, yeah, pretty big trade, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how seamless of a fit this is going to be. I mean, it's pretty obvious that Karl-Anthony Towns is going to be moved to the 4 spot, and Rudy Gobert is going to be in the dunker spot at the 5. But honestly, like, I'm just thinking to myself, it's not that Karl-Anthony Towns isn't a multi-dimensional player, right? Like, he can run the floor occasionally. He's honestly like one of the better shooters in the NBA, if not one of the best in terms of percentage-wise. So now you're going to have maybe, a D'Angelo Russell, Rudy Gobert pick-and-roll screen, maybe same thing with Anthony Edwards. And coming off that screen, now you have Karl-Anthony Towns in the corner. But the question is, like, do you really want Karl-Anthony Towns just kind of like standing in the corner all game? Like, I really wonder how this is going to affect Karl-Anthony Towns' game. Mostly because it's like, yeah, Karl-Anthony Towns is a great shooter, but do you just want him standing in the corner? I mean, I'm assuming we're going to get some pick and pop situations with Karl-Anthony Towns as well, where maybe you get something a little bit like a Pau Gasol or a Domantas Sabonis situation where you have Karl-Anthony Towns takes on more of a passing role where, maybe you get an Anthony Edwards, Karl-Anthony Towns pick and roll screen, and then you dish off to Gobert for an easy dunk or something like that. I don't know how much I love the fit, and to be honest, I don't know how much I'm going to love it until I actually see it in action. But this is a huge trade for Minnesota. Mostly because they're getting the best rim protector in the game, and it really, really strengthens their paint defense. Honestly, I didn't think their paint defense was horrible, but it definitely got a lot better. On the other side of things, you have the Utah Jazz, who are getting Malik Beasley, Patrick Beverley, Vanderbilt, Walker Kessler, and an ass ton of draft picks. And it's pretty obvious at this point that, Donovan Mitchell's the guy they went with. They dumped a shit ton of salary, so not only did they get a shit ton of assets, but Vanderbilt's a solid player. Walker Kessler was like the defensive player of the year in college. I think he averaged something insane, like 5 blocks a game or some shit like that. I could be wrong on that, but I do know it was up there. And Walker Kessler is maybe like a similar type of Rudy Gobert player. So, you know what, man? I kind of like it for both teams. I just think to myself in the back of my mind, and I think a lot of other people are thinking this as well. If Rudy Gobert was worth like 4 first-round picks, 4 or 5 first-round picks plus the assets, what the fuck is Kevin Durant worth? You know what I'm saying? That's the other thing that's crossing my mind here now that, we saw what Rudy Gobert went for. So, I don't know, man. You know what? It's definitely going to be interesting. Utah now has a bunch of cap room to work with. They have a bunch of draft assets. I don't know if they're going to make a play for Kevin Durant. I think Donovan Mitchell plus Kevin Durant is definitely an interesting thing to think about. Do I think Kevin Durant's going to go to Utah? No, probably not. I don't think he wants to go to Utah. But then again, you know, we also heard that the Brooklyn Nets are entertaining the best offers. And Utah just got an ass ton of assets. So, I don't know, man. We'll have to wait and see. But this NBA offseason has not disappointed. I think we can all say that. It's been really, really good. It's just, teams are loading up, man. I'm just going to call it what it is. Like, the East is fucking loaded. And Minnesota realizes that now. Like, they realize in order to beat any of the teams in the East now, they're going to have to get better. And this, I'm going to be honest, this was kind of a power move. You know what I'm saying? Like, Minnesota already had D'Angelo Russell. They already had Anthony Edwards. They had Karl Anthony Towns. And they were like, you know what? We need another piece. Let's add Rudy Gobert to it. And I think that's going to be a bit of a big needle mover for Minnesota. Obviously, we're not going to know how big until we actually see them play together. But I'm interested to see how this fit's going to work. And Utah, on the other hand, man, it was pretty obvious there was some type of rift going on, I think, between Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. You know, it all started with COVID, and part of me feels like Donovan Mitchell didn't enjoy being Rudy Gobert's teammate, and from, you know, rumors and stuff like that, it was pretty obvious that, like, Rudy Gobert doesn't sound like he's a great teammate, so I don't know how that's going to work in Minnesota as well, because he's coming into a situation where, you know, there's, you know, been, like, Karl Anthony Towns has been there longer than Rudy has, so this isn't a situation where Rudy Gobert can just go into and, like, yeah, he'll have some say, but he's not, like, the team captain, you know what I'm saying? He's not going to be able to say how shit goes down because he's one of the best players on the team here, but I definitely like the trade for Utah. They freed up a lot of cap space. They got a lot of assets. I like the move for Minnesota. Minnesota got a rim protector. Rumors are they were in the market for a rim protector. Granted, I would have maybe went after a guy like Miles Turner. That's just who, I mean, you know, you wouldn't have had to spend so much to get Miles Turner, but Miles Turner I don't think is a major needle mover for Minnesota, whereas Rudy Gobert is clearly, like, you know, the best defensive center in the league. So, I don't know, man. We'll have to wait and see, but definitely this NBA offseason has not disappointed. And I really also wonder, and this is just a thought that's coming to my mind now, I really wonder how Minnesota is going to play small ball in the playoffs, because Rudy Gobert is not exactly the best perimeter defender, and when you got teams like Golden State who are running Draymond Green at center, you know, are you going to switch that? You know, are you going to sit Rudy Gobert and play somebody else? That's another thing to think about here. Is Karl Anthony Towns going to have to pick that up? I would assume so, but yeah, I really wonder how this is going to work. I think they'll be a great regular season team, you know, once they figure it out, but I really, really wonder how this team is going to play in the playoffs, because, yes, you do need big men in the playoffs, I will say that, but Rudy Gobert hasn't been the best offensive player in the couple years he's been in the NBA at this point. Really good defensively, it's just offensively there's a lot of question marks, and I'm really wondering how, you know, this is going to improve Rudy Gobert's game. Granted, you know, Karl Anthony Towns is a threat from anywhere on the perimeter to shoot, so yeah, you're probably going to get teams double-teaming Karl Anthony Towns, and that'll free up some buckets for Rudy Gobert, but I'm really, really interested to see how this works, because I did not expect this. I don't think anybody else did. I thought they were going to hang on to Rudy Gobert, but yeah, they dumped the contract, and maybe they weren't happy with the production they got last year from him, especially with the amount of money they paid him, and on top of it, it's kind of like, there was something going on in Utah in the locker room between Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, and at this point, they made their decision. They're going with Donovan Mitchell. Maybe, I don't know, Utah might be looking for the number 1 pick in the draft next year. Maybe that's why they did this. They no longer have Royce O'Neal. Their starting 5 now looks like Mike Conley, Donovan Mitchell, and I guess, you know, Bojan Bogdanovic, Jared Vanderbilt, and maybe Walker Kessler. So, depending on what other moves Utah makes this offseason. But yeah, I'm going to be honest, it was a shocker. So tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on this. A like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more on the Fast Break Report. And I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.